All right, so uh, are you ready to trade in those snow boots for some flip-flops?
Sounds good to me.
Because today we are taking a deep dive straight into the Phuket, Thailand property market.
Bouquet.
Yeah, it looks like paradise might be calling for you.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we've got your notes here, some articles, even a few listings you flagged. So, are you ready to find out if Phuket property is really a dream or potentially a headache?
Yeah, let's get into it.
All right, well, we're going to arm you with all of the knowledge that you need to make that decision.
All right.
And one of the things that's so interesting about Phuket, right off the bat, is that it's not just some sleepy island getaway.
Mm.
It seems like they're really playing a balancing act,
Yeah.
catering to both local Thais and the international crowd.
What's interesting here is that, you see that reflected in the property market itself.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, you've got everything. You've got these, like, really small budget condos, right? Perfect for kind of a quick little getaway.
Oh, yeah. And then you've got these villas that are just like screaming, infinity pool and a personal chef,
Right. Yeah, we saw those in your notes.
Yeah, exactly. But that variety also means you have a huge price range, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So Phuket's got something for almost everyone. But understanding why those prices vary so much, that's really key for anyone who's serious about investing.
Okay, so let's get into that. I mean, obviously, location plays a role.
Of course, yeah.
Right. I mean, beachfront versus inland, bustling Patong versus a quieter spot. But it seems like our sources are also highlighting tourism as a major driver.
Yeah, and this is where it gets really interesting, okay? Because Phuket's prices are actually significantly higher than the rest of Thailand.
Yeah, I noticed that too.
It's almost like they've built a brand
Oh, yeah.
around this international appeal, almost a luxury label in itself.
So it's not just owning a piece of property, it's like you're buying into that whole Phuket experience.
Yeah, but speaking of experience, I mean, I was reading through some of this stuff about tourism, and some of those price spikes during high season.
Oh, tell me about it.
I mean, talk about a roller coaster. Have you seen that?
Yeah, well, it's definitely a double-edged sword, right? I mean, you look at the data from the Real Estate Information Center, the REIC, and their reports show just how much tourism impacts property values. High season brings a flood of visitors, obviously, pushes up demand, pushes up rental rates, but it can also make the market volatile, right?
So, I mean, for someone looking to buy, it seems like timing becomes super crucial.
Yeah.
Almost like trying to catch a wave at just the right moment.
It's exactly like that. There's a real art to, like, leveraging that rental demand.
Okay.
For example, properties near popular beaches like Patong, those tend to command premium prices during peak season, but understanding those cycles,
Right.
That's how you make the most of it.
Makes sense. But before we get, like, too swept up in the dream, let's get real about the legal side of this.
Yeah, we got to do that.
Owning land as a foreigner in Thailand, that's a whole other beast, isn't it?
It can definitely be complex. Like, direct ownership is totally off the table for foreigners,
That's right.
So you're looking at options like setting up a Thai limited company or entering into a leasehold agreement.
Yeah.
And then you've got that famous 49% rule for condos where foreigners can only own that much of a building. You know what I mean?
Okay, so, I mean, choices exist, but it's not just like a simple sign on the dotted line situation.
Not at all.
It seems like if there's one takeaway here, it's like lawyer up.
Absolutely.
Right.
A good lawyer is essential. They can navigate the intricacies of the Thai legal system.
Yeah.
They can explain those tricky taxes like transfer fees and business tax.
Right.
And just basically make sure you're not taking any unnecessary risks.
So due diligence is critical. Don't let those beach daydreams overshadow the practicalities.
Exactly.
But while we're on the topic of dreams, it seems like Phuket isn't just about Patong anymore, is it?
It's evolving. While Patong remains a tourism hub, we're seeing a rise in areas like Worldwide,
Oh, yeah.
which offers a quieter, more laid-back vibe.
Yeah.
It's almost like Phuket has multiple personalities, each attracting a different kind of buyer.
So for someone looking to invest, it's about figuring out which personality aligns with their goals.
That's it.
Right. Do you want to be in the heart of the action or somewhere a little bit more off the beaten path?
Exactly. And this is where understanding the nuances of each area becomes really important.
Yeah.
For example, Shalong and Rawai are considered what they call emerging areas. They offer a more local experience and potentially higher returns for investors who are willing to be a bit, ahead of the curve.
Yeah, I see that. And I'm noticing a pattern here. It really seems like being informed is key.
Absolutely.
But it's not just about choosing the right location, right?
Yeah.
I mean, our sources are also emphasizing the role of infrastructure.
Oh, absolutely. Infrastructure can make or break an investment. I mean, we're talking about roads, public transportation, even that potential light rail system they're discussing.
Right.
All of that impacts accessibility and ultimately property value.
So you're saying don't just focus on that beachfront view. You've got to think about how easy it is to get around and how future developments might shape the area. It's like playing a long game.
Exactly. A well-planned infrastructure can boost an area's desirability and drive up property prices over time.
Yeah. Okay. So we're talking about the future. And speaking of the future, I noticed that our sources are also pointing to a trend toward sustainable development in Phuket.
Interesting, huh?
Yeah. I mean, are developers really jumping on the eco-friendly bandwagon, or is it more marketing than substance?
There's definitely a genuine demand for green living,
Okay.
especially among certain buyer segments.
Yeah.
And some developers are genuinely integrating sustainable practices into their projects.
Okay.
It's not just a buzzword anymore.
So for someone who's environmentally conscious, that could be a big factor in their decision, right? But it also makes me wonder, like, what as the future of Phuket?
Yeah, I've been thinking about that too.
Will it become this sustainable paradise, or will overdevelopment take its toll?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
It's a delicate balance between preserving the natural beauty of the island and catering to that growing demand for development.
Yeah,
It'll be interesting to see how it all plays out.
it really will.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's say our listener is like fully on board the Phuket train.
Right.
They're ready to invest.
Okay.
What are their options? I mean, is it all about like buying and holding, or are there other strategies to consider?
Well, Phuket's actually pretty versatile when it comes to investment approaches.
Okay.
You've got that classic buy and hold strategy, which is perfect for someone who's, in it for the long haul.
Right.
It's about steady rental income, potential appreciation,
Yeah.
and really letting that investment kind of mature over time.
Like planting a seed and watching it grow into a money tree.
Exactly. But for those who prefer a faster pace,
Right.
there's always flipping properties.
Oh, yeah.
Buy, renovate, sell quickly.
Right.
It's dynamic, requires a keen eye for market trends, but the potential for quicker profits is definitely there.
So it's about like understanding your own risk tolerance and financial goals.
For sure.
But regardless of the strategy, it seems like rental yield is a key factor to consider.
Oh, it's huge EE.
Right.
Especially in Phuket. Remember all that tourism data from the REIC we talked about?
Yeah.
Well, during peak season, those holiday rentals become incredibly lucrative.
Oh, wow.
Imagine owning like a beachfront villa or a stylish condo right in the heart of Patong. You're practically printing money.
That sounds pretty tempting, but I imagine managing those rentals, dealing with, seasonal fluctuations, that's a whole other skill set.
It definitely is.
Well,
It's not just about owning a pretty property. Effective property management is crucial for maximizing those returns. You got to think about marketing, maintenance, guest services. It's a business in itself.
So for someone looking to invest in Phuket, it's about more than just picking the right location.
Yeah.
It's about understanding that rental market, having a solid management plan in place, and maybe even partnering with local experts who, really know the ropes.
Absolutely.
And don't forget about diversification.
Oh, that's a good one.
Right.
Just like you wouldn't, put all your eggs in one basket. You shouldn't limit yourself to a single property type or location.
Okay, I'm intrigued. What does diversification look like in, like, the Phuket context?
Think about it this way, all right? You could have a mix of condos, villas, maybe even a townhouse or two. Spread those investments across different areas, each with its, unique appeal and market potential. Maybe a beachfront property in Patong for those high season rentals.
Yeah.
A charming villa in Worldwide for a quieter long-term investment.
Okay.
You get the idea.
Yeah. Yeah, I see that. So it's about building a balanced portfolio, right?
Yeah.
Spreading that risk, creating a more resilient investment strategy.
Exactly. Now let's zoom in on some practical tips for first-time buyers.
All right, let's do it.
We talked a lot about location, but how you actually choose the right spot.
That's a good question. We mentioned like Patong with its vibrant nightlife and Rawai with its more laid-back vibe.
Right.
But those are just two examples. There's a whole spectrum of areas to consider.
And each one has its own, unique charm and target market.
Yeah.
Do you picture yourself like surrounded by bustling markets and trendy restaurants.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe you prefer a quieter, more residential setting.
It's like finding your own little slice of paradise within paradise.
That's it.
But beyond the lifestyle aspect, understanding market trends seems pretty crucial.
Oh, absolutely. Remember, Phuket's property market is influenced by tourism, global economics,
Yeah.
local developments. Do your research, look at recent price trends, and maybe even consult with a local expert who can provide, on-the-ground insights.
So it's about staying informed, being aware of those external factors that can impact property values.
It is.
It's almost like being a detective, uncovering those hidden clues that point towards a good investment.
Love that analogy. And don't underestimate the power of a good real estate agent.
Yeah.
They know the local market, like inside and out,
Right.
can help you navigate the legalities and
Yeah.
find properties that match your budget and your vision.
Okay, so we've got due diligence, research, expert guidance, all crucial for navigating the Phuket market. But let's get specific.
Okay, yeah.
Our sources are mentioning a key distinction between beachfront and inland properties.
Right.
That seems like a major price differentiator.
You're spot on. Beachfront properties are the cream of the crop, right?
Right.
Offering those stunning ocean views,
Of course.
direct access to the sand.
Yeah.
We're talking luxury villas, those dream homes we talked about earlier, but they come at a premium, reflecting their exclusivity and high demand.
So for someone who is dreaming of waking up to the sound of waves crashing on the shore, be prepared to pay a premium for that experience.
Yeah. That's the trade-off.
But what about more budget-friendly options?
That's where inland properties come into play.
Okay.
They offer a taste of local life, tend to be closer to amenities like schools and markets, and are generally more affordable.
Okay.
You might not have that beachfront view, but you'll be closer to the heart of the community and have more money left over to, enjoy the Phuket lifestyle.
So it's trade-off.
It is.
Ocean views versus convenience and affordability.
Yeah.
It all comes down to priorities and, budget considerations.
Exactly. And that's the beauty of Phuket.
Yeah.
It caters to a wide range of budgets,
Right.
From those luxurious beachfront villas to more modest apartments and traditional Thai townhouses.
It's fantastic that there are options for everyone. Yeah. Our sources are also mentioning price per square meter as a key metric to look at.
Oh, yeah, that's important.
Why is that so important?
Think of it as like a common denominator, a way to compare apples to apples, so to speak.
Yeah.
It helps you understand relative value,
Okay.
regardless of property type or location.
Right.
On average, Phuket's price per square meter is higher than the national average, but it can fluctuate significantly,
Of course.
depending on where you're looking.
So beachfront properties, those luxury villas, they're going to command a higher price per square meter.
They are.
Right. Reflecting their exclusivity and high demand.
Precisely. Condos and apartments tend to be more affordable, offering a lower entry point into the market.
Right, yeah.
But even within those categories, location plays a huge role.
So price per square meter helps us kind of like decode those price variations and make more informed comparisons.
Yeah.
It's like having a secret weapon in your property hunting arsenal.
I like that.
Right.
I like that.
Okay, so let's shift gears and talk about something that often gets overlooked by first-time buyers. Infrastructure. It might not be as glamorous as like beachfront views,
Right.
but it plays a huge role in property pricing.
It really does.
And our sources are highlighting the importance of transport links and accessibility. For sure, Phuket is constantly developing, and those infrastructure improvements can significantly impact property values.
You're right. Better roads, new bus routes, even that potential light rail system we discussed.
Yeah.
All of that makes areas more desirable, more accessible, which drives up property prices.
So it's about thinking beyond the property itself and considering the surrounding infrastructure.
And
is it easy to get around? Are there plans for future developments that could, boost property values?
Excellent points. And don't forget about utilities and amenities.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Access to electricity, water, shopping centers, schools, hospitals.
Yeah.
All of that contributes to a location's desirability
Right.
and impacts property prices.
So it's about looking at the bigger picture,
It is.
understanding how infrastructure shapes the overall livability and investment potential of an area.
Exactly. Infrastructure is the backbone of a thriving real estate market.
Okay.
Now, let's move on to our final segment for this part,
All right.
the role of reputable developers.
Okay, so our sources are mentioning the importance of partnering with developers who have a strong track record and a deep understanding of the Phuket market.
Mm.
Why is that so crucial?
Think of a reputable developer as like your guide through the Phuket property jungle.
Right.
They've got the experience, the local knowledge,
Yeah.
and the connections to help you navigate the complexities of the market. They can provide valuable insights into future developments, strategic locations,
Right.
and can be a valuable partner in making informed decisions.
So it's about finding a developer you can trust, someone who shares your vision and can help you make the most of your investment. It's like having a teammate in this exciting but sometimes overwhelming world of Phuket property.
Exactly. Now, in the next part,
Okay.
we'll wrap up our deep dive with some final thoughts and considerations for our listener. Stay tuned.
That's right. Looking forward to it. All right, so welcome back. We've covered a lot of ground in our Phuket property deep dive.
We have.
From those like dreamy beachfront villas
Yeah.
to the nitty-gritty of legalities and the power of infrastructure.
It's been quite a journey
Yeah, it really has.
through the Phuket property landscape,
Hi.
exploring both the exciting opportunities
Yeah.
and the potential challenges that come with this unique market.
Exactly. But now it's time to kind of bring it all together and leave our listener with some final thought-provoking insights.
Right.
What stands out to you as we wrap things up?
One thing that really strikes me is just how dynamic Phuket's property market is.
Yeah.
It's constantly in motion, shaped by global trends, tourism, ebbs and flows, and those ambitious infrastructure projects that we discussed.
So for someone looking to invest, it's not a set it and forget it situation.
No, not at all.
It's about staying informed, being adaptable, and recognizing that Phuket's story is still being written.
Absolutely. And that, that ongoing story, it presents both incredible opportunities and some serious challenges.
Yeah, it does.
We talked about that growing focus on sustainability, the push towards eco-friendly development.
Right.
It really makes you wonder, what will Phuket's future hold?
Will it manage to become a truly sustainable paradise? Or will it succumb to the pressures of overdevelopment?
Good question.
It's a question worth pondering for anyone who's considering, putting down roots there.
It's a delicate balance for sure.
It is.
Finding that sweet spot between economic growth and preserving the natural beauty that makes Phuket so unique.
Yeah, absolutely.
And speaking of balance, we also talked about the importance of diversification in investment strategies.
Right. Don't put all your eggs in one basket.
That's it.
Spread that risk by exploring different property types, maybe a mix of locations. Even consider both long-term and short-term investment approaches.
Exactly. And above all, remember the importance of due diligence.
Oh, yeah, always.
Whether you're buying or renting, understanding the legal landscape, doing your market research, and seeking expert guidance when needed, those are all critical steps.
Don't let those Phuket daydreams cloud your judgment. All right, now before we say goodbye, I want to turn to our listener directly.
Okay.
What has resonated with you throughout this deep dive? What kind of Phuket property or lifestyle are you picturing for yourself?
I'm curious, too. What aspects of the market have sparked your interest?
Yeah.
What questions are still swirling around in your mind?
We've aimed to give you a comprehensive overview,
We have.
but ultimately the decision is yours.
It is.
We've equipped you with the knowledge and the insights to navigate this exciting market with confidence.
And remember, this is just the beginning of your Phuket property journey. There's so much more to explore and discover.
So go forth, do your research, and who knows, maybe we'll bump into you on those beautiful Phuket beaches someday.
Until then, happy investing.
All right, sounds good.